Hello, Master Manifester. Today we're talking about programming your priorities for your manifestation intentions and for your life. So, priorities are what are most important to you. You only have so much time and energy. You only have so much mental and emotional range for things in a day. You need downtime. You need time for work. You need time for play. You need time for all of these things. So you have to prioritize what matters and accept releasing what is not really aligned, what's not serving you, letting go of what's not serving. So starting off with is authentic goals. In the last video, we talked about setting authentic intentions. And authentic goals is really the same thing. It's checking alignment in your body, checking whether or not the things you are asking for, the things that you are intending to have in your reality, are aligned with your values. Making sure that the things you set for yourself, so the goals are a little bit different than the intentions. The intentions are what you intend to manifest into your reality. The goals are what you plan for you to do along the way. So it comes down to recognizing where your intrinsic motivation is, what you value most, what's important to you, and choosing to make that the most focused thing in your life. So it's not really the matter of time that you are spending on something. It's the amount of focus and energy, because you can spend a lot of focus and energy in a half an hour on a video game, right? And maybe that video game is very important to you. But it's important to recognize that that video game takes up a block of space in your priorities fields. And your priorities predict your outcomes. Well, I should say your story points. I say outcomes. When I say outcomes, I mean story points because it's an ongoing story. So behavior priming is where you start pairing your actions with the emotions to get more intrinsic motivation when you're programming your priorities. First, you need to mentally decide which priorities matter right now. And this is something that you're going to need to update. It's like your own project planning aspects. This is the project of you. You are the most important project you have, I promise. Nothing else could be more important than your project of you. Whatever that turns out to be, this is your project. You are your project. So learning how to be flexible in planning your objectives and being clear about what your values and morals are, what your identity is. And that's your predictive processing. What will I do? How will I behave? And then you can pair it with a feeling. Sometimes you can invoke these emotions, right? Sometimes you can just sort of mentally tell yourself, I'm really loving this. Or if I'm not really loving this and I can't find anything to love about it, I'm loving what this will do for me. And these kind of affirmations, I'm not even sure what to call them yet. Say something in the comments if you have an idea for the name for this kind of affirmation. But it's an affirmation that leads you into a new way of thinking. It doesn't automatically overwrite. It just sort of leads the progression of what you want to be feeling in regards to these behaviors. So if you want to exercise more and you don't like exercising, first of all, I recommend starting at what you can like and doing what you can like. So if you hate running and that's what you think exercise is, how do you feel about swimming? How do you feel about ballet? How do you feel about dancing? What is moving your body, which is all exercise is? What moves your body and makes you feel good at the same time? Maybe it's just calisthenics, light stretching, slow, fluid movements, yoga. Whatever gets you in touch with your vessel, with your frame, with your core system, whatever connects you, because you need to move to live. You have to be active to be moving through into new stories. You don't have to constantly move. You don't have to overwork yourself, and you don't have to force. Basically, you're inviting your body to dance. Come dance with me. Come play with me. Come have fun with me like when we were kids, right? This is behavior priming. Every little thing you do, approach it like you were a little kid. How can I make this fun? How can this have more potential? This is the flexibility of authentic goals. This is getting in touch with your core self. Because before all these other programs were piled on top of you, that base program of curiosity and expansion is still there. And practice the processes. Practice is the process. Practice is the process. When you're creating new habits, don't do something that's going to not allow you to be able to run everything else, right? You want to change little things at a time. Now, sometimes a big crash course can help. Like sometimes I will go into full on hermit modes or full on very extroverted modes. That's rare, but it does happen. Sometimes I will develop these really big social systems and I'll just sort of nurture them and then I'll kind of go into hermit mode again and spend a lot of time with me. Be fluid in what you need from any given time. Don't think that you have to align with the matrix values. Now, it can help a lot of the time to, you don't want to fight everything in the matrix. It can help if something is matrix aligned, if you can sort of align with that thing. Like, let's see if I can think of something that's matrix aligned that I really like. Music. I love music. I love lyrics. I love poetry. These are all very matrix aligned things. They're very part of the base system, but depending on how you use these tools, everything is a tool. Everything is an opportunity. Everything is a way of selecting your processes and patterns and routines. And it's very important to understand these base codes because we are highly automated. And this is the underwiring. This is the underlying wiring, the programming, the the things that you know automatically have us going through our habits. And that's why it feels so hard to change a habit. Your system wants homeostasis. Your brain and nervous system want to feel safe. They want to predict and they want to know what you're going to do next. They want to know what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next year, next 1,000 years, right? Now, we can't know these things. It's, not possible to know them, but we can know that we will feel safe in ourselves. And it is always about cultivating that safety, always about perfecting the cause and cultivating the safety. And make sure that your priorities don't act against you. You are always cultivating yourself. Cultivation, creating the best possible conditions with your priorities. So if you're constantly prioritizing your energy to other people's identities, especially when they can do it themselves, do not give men fish. Teach them to fish. I mean by that humans, not just men. So when you're considering your priorities, also think about what are the longest existing priorities that you have, things that you might not have noticed because they're so regular, they're so ingrained, usually since childhood, but not always. Sometimes it's just been a long time, and they're so ingrained that you don't even realize you do them. When are you drinking water? Are you drinking water? These little things matter. Like these little moments in life are not insignificant. They are the stuff of life. They are the literal stuff of your life. And if you're not noticing your life, yes, you're going to feel very unsatisfied. You're not getting enough opportunities to play. You're not getting enough opportunities to play the game. And it's just not fair to your system, It's not fair to you not to have fun. So I hope this helped you to understand a little bit more about programming your priorities, choosing authentically, how to prime your behavior, and, why it's important to practice the process to not just choose, but to activate the process in whatever inspired action that you can think of. And that inspired action is just what naturally comes from that intrinsic motivation. I want to do this. This is just what I do. This is part of who I am. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and sign up for the Method Muse newsletter in the description below.